YouTube. Ben here, and a few of you made some comments about how my tank was starting to look a little bit cluttered, and it really hurt my feelings. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. But I agree. My tank was looking a little crowded, and I took a page out of the book of a couple friends of mine who have been able to have tanks that don't look cluttered, look pretty clean, like my friend Evan Alexander over at #HapNation. Check out that YouTube channel if you haven't already. And so I took it upon myself to conceal some of the equipment. I still have some of it exposed, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I did, and you tell me below what you think. And if you have any other suggestions for me, please share them, and you know I read them. All right, thanks for tuning in. All right, so here's the 135 from side to side, and I'm going to see if I can make it a little less cluttered. There are some things in here I'm probably not going to be moving, but maybe I can get a little clever and hide some of the things that can be hidden and maybe create a bit of an overflow type situation by repositioning the 3D background. So I'm going to give it a shot and take a good look at it now, because it's probably going to look different the next time you see it. The job actually turned out to be rather simple. What I needed to do really was just pull this Universal Rocky background forward just a little bit, and because I have a tank that has support or braces on the edges, not sure if you can make that out there. You can see it from above here. You can see that it has glass supports on the edges of the tank, and those are below the frame. So what they did is they created a slightly tighter area that could support the top of the rocky background. So when I pull that out, it continued to have some contact, but at the same time it opened up a small gap between the glass and the background that you can see if you look closely here. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. Move along, fish. There's a gap there between the glass and the background. You have to really look for it to you have to look for it to notice it, but you can see it there. Now, what that did is it gave me the a bit of an overflow, like you'd get when you have a sump or some type of a filtering system. So water is getting sucked in between that background and the glass. The narrow space between the background and the glass is sucking in water that is running by the heater. Now, Jay Wilson over at Universal Rocks assured me that this heater, having some limited contact with the background, is not going to be a hazard. Now, down here below, I'm helping the water to move because I've installed a 110 Sun power head down here that is moving water in towards the background, between the space between the background and back glass. Let me give you a little bit of a better look with some light. So you can see the heater back there, and the JVP 110 from Sun. I have 4 of them running in this tank now, along with a larger Sun unit, actually 5 wave makers. You'll see them all in a second. Here's the other side of the tank. You see the other JVP 110. And again, this side is sucking in water from along the edge of the rocky background, in particular around this top section where there's a small gap, and that is working as a bit of an overflow. I know it's not a true overflow, but it is moving water into the space between the back of the tank and the background. There you see the other heater. Both heaters are controlled by a controller. And you also see there the heater sensor right there. Keeps the tank right perfectly at 78. Now, in the middle of the, between the background here, you'll see in a second. So here you can see from the top, there's the heater. There are some of the clips that were securing the Universal rocky background to the back. And there is the Fluval FX6 intake hose, which it's got the two normal clips in the back, and then it didn't need the front clip because it's actually being held in place by the background. So you can see the gap that occurred here, and it kind of works its way towards the middle there and is held in place by that glass sheet there. We'll take a look at the other side too. On this side, I didn't need so much of a gap because the intake for the Sunsun 704B is not quite as large as it is for the Fluval, so I didn't need to pull it back so far. So this side is a little closer in, and you can see here are the two outputs. The output for the Fluval and also the output for the 704B are both situated right there. So here's the new look for the tank. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner. You can barely tell there's a little teeny gap between the background and the glass, enough of a gap to suck in detritus, and so the back has become sort of a large filter. And I have, because I'd become spoiled and didn't want to start vacuuming, I have the Sunsuns here on the bottom, one on top for surface agitation, just for more oxygen purposes than anything else, and then I have a couple of them over here just to keep things stirred up so they get pulled into the filtration. So you can see overall the tank has a much cleaner look. The intakes are gone, the heaters are gone. I could conceivably put this large power head behind the Rocky. It would probably do just as much oxygenation. I could also scrape some of the black paint on the back of my tank off and put the Santa Monica filtration algae scrubber behind the background as well. All those things are ideas that I might explore in the future, but for right now I'm actually pretty happy the way the tank looks. I had some concern about waste particles and things of this nature being able to be taken up since the intakes are behind, but enough is being pulled in from the gaps in the upper corners along the edges of the rocky background, the Universal rocky background. So I'm in good shape. You can see the water quality is quite pristine. So there you have it. A new cleaner look. No more belly aching about my tank being too cluttered. I think he likes it. All right, so what do you think? Do you like the new look? Let me know below. Give me your comments and any other suggestions that you have for me. Let me hear them. I do appreciate you stopping by, and not sure what my next project will be. We'll see. Maybe something before the holidays. But thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Do comment. Do subscribe if you haven't already. You can hit that button that's going to appear up here in the corner, and that'll allow you to subscribe automatically. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. Bye-bye.